Q&A session for our Exploring Agile Coaching Entre. Entre is the training concept that we developed in net4tec. It's a 10-week, some of them are 8 weeks, and this one is a 10-week program, actually, learning program training, and we call it Entre because we will be among us, and meaning that this is a training where we tailored for women. It was developed by women and it's for women, and it's usually a very cozy round, small people, like a small amount of people, usually between 8 to 12 participants, where we can really share our experiences, our opinions in that safe environment and learn and develop and bring each other forward. So I've done the quick intro, but I didn't say who I am. I'm very sorry. I think some of you don't know my name yet. So I think my name is Julia. Yeah, and I'm one of the founders of net4tec, where we started 2018, at the beginning of 2018. So it's a good 4 years now. And it was a hell of a ride, still is. I enjoy it. I am German originally, yes. I'm actually I am in Germany. I'm in Mönchengladbach, but normally I do live in Ireland. So I used to live in Dublin, but now I'm in the countryside. And yeah, usually if some of you have participated in some of our different sessions, 60 minutes or the pioneer call, that we have once a month, but then so you see also different people coming up, and one of our other pioneers in driving force, and she's also one of the experts for this training, actually, is Andrea. And yeah, now I will hand over to you and you can do the presentation for yourself.
Thank you. Thank you for the introduction, Julia. Well, my name is Andrea. As Julia said, I've been collaborating and working and having lots of fun with net4tec for yeah, I'd say at least 2 years now, and yeah, maybe even 3. And I'm really happy, among other things, to be part of the virtual Entre team. And I will be one of the facilitators for the Entre that we'll be talking about today, exploring agile coaching. My background is I originally come from IT and technological project management and change management, and learned different ways of doing projects a couple of years ago. And now I'm working with companies doing agile transformations and transformations in general. And I'm coaching leaders who want to bring more agility into their organizations. That's more or less everything in a nutshell. And with net4tec, we developed a training program to give an overview about the role that is called the Agile Coach. And I'll be happy to answer any question or to at least introduce you the training program in the next minutes to come.
Yeah, exactly. Let us just run through this quick intro of what the training is about. And then I'm happy to open up the floor since it is a Q&A session. This shouldn't be a long presentation. Yeah, to really brainstorm and discuss on topics. Yeah, maybe there's also an interesting information. I have also, we have done this training in the last year, and I was one of the participants there as well. So I can also share my experiences from the view as a participant as well. So that was quite fun. So yeah, but then who is net4tec actually? We are a global network of women in the STEM area. So not just technology, anything around science, mathematics, engineering. And our mission statement is really to make the STEM world more colorful by lifting female careers with the power of community. And how do we do this? So we have a set of different events around knowledge sharing, around strategic networking, as well as personal growth and development. And therefore, We are here today for the Exploring Agile coaching course. And you see here Andrea and Nana as being the two facilitators. And on the website with the link that I'm going to share as well in a second, you see what's going to, or what you can expect. So Andrea, do you want to take over from here?
Yes, I will. Just unmuting myself, and I will proudly present my new glasses. I'm very happy today for that, at least, so I'll be even able to read what's on the side. Why did we do this? Call this exploration agile coaching? We want to give you an overview about the role of an agile coach. We want to give you the opportunity to deep dive into the different areas and facets this role might have, and give you the opportunity to better understand the mindset behind, and give you insights and give you the opportunity to do some experiments and get some tools and ideas that you immediately can implement in your organizations or your immediate working environment. So it's rather an inspiration and experimentation session. Any question is allowed, and it highly depends on on the group of participants, because what we experienced during the last training sessions we had last year is that we have a lot of content, and we can very well tailor them to whatever you might be interested in, because it is a small group of women participants. So I'm really looking forward what the participants this time will make out of what we can provide. To give you the overview about how it's designed, we have it's an 8 weeks program, or containing the onboarding as well. It's even 9 weeks. We have 4 modules with a 2 hours duration. We do have an onboarding and a checkout session to give you the framework, and any module session which are taking place every other week. So it's bi-weekly sessions, and we'll have a short stand-up in between, just for the participants to check, okay, this is what we wanted to try out, this is what we learned, and what we digged a little deeper during the week in between. So it's really a short stand-up to just check in and see whatever you might have tried out in between. And then as well, accompanying the modules, you'll have the possibility to have one-on-one coaching, either between module 3 and 4 or at the end of the sessions. This makes sense to do it rather at the end of the training program, to give you the opportunity to do your own transformation journey with regard to what are you going to take away, and what are you going to do with anything you learned during the sessions in your daily life afterwards.
Yeah, correct. And I think what's also interesting here to note, we will also work in this peer group. You see the peer group happening here. That's really valuable, because the modules itself, you will be in a group, in a cohort, where there's quite a vivid exchange between the two experts and the participants. However, we will also team you up with the peer among that group, where you can then find some time and find a date in your own time to do the homework, and then to discuss the homework together, to say, okay, how do you experience this, and to go really deeper into the topic. And then the stand-up sessions were really short and crisp on that Monday morning, to say, okay, where are we? And that was very helpful. And it also created an interesting bond with your peer, that that there was, and for instance, that I had in this program, and we're still in contact with WhatsApp. So it's very, very funny. I probably would have never met her otherwise. So yeah, and then the onboarding and offboarding session, it will be also done from where either myself or Begonia will be part of it. Yeah, to hear and see what your learnings are, and then what your whether we have met your expectations, basically. And yeah, so how to book it, basically. So we have the price is €1,590. If you're a Pioneer member, you have a 20% discount. There's some information here about the membership. Otherwise, you can just sign up here. But I guess it's probably more interesting of like what is happening in the 4 modules. Andrea, do you want to cover briefly the module 1 and 2, and I do the 3 and 4?
Yeah, I can do that. Well, the module 1 gives you, as the headline says, an overview about agile thinking and mindset. We'll dig a little deeper about where does that agile history come from, what are typical roles and what are organizational structures. Well, there will be a little discussion on misconceptions and key beliefs with regard to agility, agile projects, methodologies and methods and frameworks. And then we'll dig a little deeper into what does the agile coaching role mean, and what are key capabilities that might be helpful. Talking about that, it might be different from what you bring or what you already know about agile coaching or agile transformation. So we'll have, even during the check-in, we will already see where is the group alike, so what are the givens that you already know, and what might be interesting on top, so that we use what's there and have a look at where we can teach you or discuss with you something new. As well, we're looking that the modules are highly interactive. So usually what we are doing now, Julia and me talking all the time, we try not to do that during the modules that much, but give you the opportunity to test out and try out and interact. And we provide you the input via the workbook that accompanies the training. Okay, that's the module 1. Module 2 will be more concrete with regard to agile doing and learning. We'll give you the opportunity to create your own use case, and then talk about how to create trust and know the team. Then having ceremonies and rituals being a very key part about agile working culture. We'll go over that and show you some examples on how that can be done. And we'll discuss with you and give you some real life examples on how agility is being lived or implemented, and being part of culture in different organizations.
Maybe speaking of the different organizations, Andrea, can you also tell us a little bit more about the industries that you and Nana are kind of mainly, or like in, or like the full breadth of expertise that you two have?
Yeah. Actually, yes. When I'm talking about we, you have to imagine my colleague Nana as well on my side, who unfortunately cannot be with you today. We are working with companies in different industries. On the one hand, those companies like IT and telecommunications, who are very far already with regard to their agile transformation, who have implemented agile working and agile structures, even at agile roles already throughout their whole organization. And then on the other hand, we are working with companies in a rather industrial environment, or with welfare companies who are just starting to transform some parts, or are working in an agile way in some projects, which is a different approach. And we had, during the last Exploring Agile coaching training, participants were the same. Some of them came from IT companies. Some of them came from had an industry background, and some of them came from companies who never before were working with any agile principle before. And from that difference comes the beauty of the program, because you can always exchange some best practices and some ideas or some experiments that might be started no matter what you find in your organization.
Absolutely. Yeah, and then we have model 3 and 4, and we will look into the Agile Transformation. And I really love the description, get the tools, pack your luggage. It's really about bringing all the knowledge into action. What can we do with what types of techniques can we use for change management, for the transformation that you might be in your project or in your organization? What about conflicts and resistance that you might see? And also go back into that use case and really do this case clinic. And I think it's also here where the peer coaching is very helpful. So it is really brings you on your individual agile transformation journey within your use case, within your organization or your project, and see then brainstorm also with the other participants and what you can do in order to overcome your challenge in that sense, right? And the module 4 is your role as an agile coach, where once now you have packed your bag, you're ready to go, and you actually have to take off. So what is the role of the agile coach? Do you have your own agile learning map and what you want to achieve as kind of the next steps, and also to bring it alive, right? And your professional authenticity as an agile coach. And I think that's also when the one-to-one coaching with
Makes
either
sense.
Andrea or Nana is going to help you very much.
Yeah, so considering the 4 modules, you'll see it's always like put together with an agile perspective, always having the agile mindset in the back of your head, and then having the coaching part and bringing those 2 parts together. So at first it's an agile input, then there are some of the coaching and facilitating aspects that you need to consider. The third one is the broader view on the organization, and the 4th module comes back to you as an individual with that role, and having an overview about how you can focus on your own transformation to become more of an agile coach than you were before. So that's the general idea of the 4 modules.
Okay, exactly. So this is the general overview, and I think with this, I'm going to stop the sharing, and yeah, I'm looking forward to hear all your questions and comments and whatever comes through your head. So you can either use the raise your hand function, speak up, or use the chat function. It's all possible. We are multitasking here. And I've just pasted the link in the chat. Yeah, or maybe we can also share your experiences with the agile way of working so far. Is it are you already a Scrum Master, a PMP professional, or are you looking more kind of into it, or are you coming from the coaching side as well? I think that's also interesting to get a understanding. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, if nobody.
Petra, go for it. Yes, please.
Hello. Yes, I can just share a bit. I'm a coach myself, and I'm kind of I come from all these areas. I started adults education already in the 80s, and I was I started women's education in the 80s. I created a learning center for women, and I wasn't in that area in the beginning of the 90s. I was kind of a pioneer in teaching with IT. But then I took another another direction, and I went global. And so nowadays my engagement is for leaders, global women into leadership, which means the younger ones with a global background. And the other group is, as I had many years, but now I'm changing a little bit, inside the group of male managers. So I coach leading with difference. So it means to start with them to be better diversity leaders. So we start with them. Yeah. And so I just kind of I jumped into this your presentation and the course, and I think my only thought was maybe if I really do need a qualification in Agile coaching, because where I come from, I think I did a lot of Agile things before the term became popular, you know. So I'm just interested, listening, and yeah, what comes up.
That's and thanks a lot. But what you just said, it's one of the reasons why we set up that program is it is not a certification for an Agile coach, because the certification of an Agile coach is much broader. It's much more there's much more time, effort as well needed, but it can be your exploration journey and seeing, do I want to focus more into that? For example, deciding, okay, I need a certification for whatever reason, but it can already be enough for checking out, okay, do I know enough about that to at least work with Agile coaches, for example, or if you were working in human resources and wanted to find out, do I have the right external persons? You would be able to check out mindset approaches and so on.
Yeah.
You are providing coaching services or teaching leaders. You could have a broader idea about what could be the checkup if for the leaders their challenge would be having leading an Agile transformation. So that could be take out of these sessions.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, then what you just said, Andrea, then that covered my question already, because then I realized that this is then maybe no longer the right format for me, because I already decided in December last year that I signed up for an Agile coach certificate course at a mobile university, and yeah, also the timing wouldn't have been perfect for me now because it actually overlaps, and yeah, I will start my new job as an Agile consultant within Agile Transformation projects, and then yeah. So, but never mind, getting more to know more people who are interested in this might bring me to the point that that we can connect, or I also then need to do a case study for my certificate, and then we anyway could maybe exchange what you think if the methodologies for this use case from your experiences might be ones or something.
Definitely. So if you need it always depends on why you want to do the certification and what you need it for. You can always use the forum within net4tec as well to ask, especially if you want to discuss your case, that you have you will have to do some paperwork.
Yeah, no, there are 3 use cases, and you can choose one, and that way you then need to write your 20 pages case study, and you need to select relevant methodologies and explain why you choose those. So maybe we can also then use the forum of people who are doing this to I could use this to get your feedback from several people, and yeah, if I'm right in choosing those methodologies. But
yeah, definitely, yeah, you will find probably the same interested people. And we are doing case study as well, but it's not, as you can see, it's not that many hours. If you compare certifications, it's not like the some hundred working hours, but it's the 4 modules plus.
Yeah, no, for me it's 156 ECTS. So yeah.
Geraldine, I think, do you have a question or?
Just a moment.
No worries.
On my camera. Yes, I have a question. I would like to know how big the part relating change management is in your coaching.
In the during the training sessions, you mean, or in real life?
In general, perhaps I can make a short presentation of me.
Yes.
My name is Geraldine Alex. I am actually, or currently, I am managing director of a company, Value Stream. You see the logo at the moment. We are in the field of material compliance, and I am responsible for, especially for the organization and all the projects in this area. And I am also a mindset and relaxing coach. Auf Deutsch Entspannungs- und Mentalcoach. It's a bit different in English. And for me, it's, you know, it's not separated, but it's a whole perspective. And I was interested to know what you propose in your training, and especially the topic change management is for me very interesting, because you know, in change management you have this aspect with emotion, you have mindset, you have everything in the fields of emotion and psychology. And I wanted to know exactly what you understand under agile coaching and what you propose in your training.
Coming very strictly from the role of the agile coach, it would be the role with a stronger focus on the organization. If you compare it, for example, with the Scrum Master, who is supporting the team, looking at the process of working, of collaboration within the team, the agile coach would look on the working process and coordinate several teams. And why we focus at least one of the modules on transformation and change management is because we said this is, you never do, or you shouldn't just talk about agile transformation or agility without the reason why, and having a look into the future. Where is that sense providing sense, or what value will that add? And if we are looking in the future and using agile methods and tools, we are always talking about learning and developing the organization. And this is why the idea of transformation is very important for us, and as well in that training, because we are always we are doing that because we are supporting a continuous transformation of the company, and saying agile mindset does support that, and agile tools and methodologies will strongly support that. So and this is why we have that perspective. We don't only have the perspective of individuals and teams, but of the question of how does this role especially support, and what kind of tools do you need and are helpful to support transformation on an organizational level. Talking at least about several teams, but or the whole organization. Oh, and I see Birgit needs to drop off.
Yeah, enjoy.
Did that answer your question, Geraldine?
Yeah, thank you. This is it's the point. So as I can understand, it's more on the upper level. The agile coach is working on the upper level, and it is what I wanted to know, because I was not really clear about this concept of agile coach, and what can I understand. What are you doing, and what?
Yeah. So we are starting with explaining the agile mindset and the agile roles, but then we are very much going into the transformative part, because this is where the impact lies of that role.
Okay. But you addressed mostly big companies?
With that, no, not necessarily. No. Because it doesn't the impact of this maybe different way of working might be the same no matter how big the company is. It's rather the question, does it make sense in what you're doing? Are you rather working in a field where you realize increased complexity, where you realize that in innovation is getting more and more important? Do you realize that your business and your services are changing over the time, and you need to adapt on that? And how do you get up front? What does that mean? And these are the different levels of agility we will be talking about, because it is a difference if you're talking about the product agility, or if you're talking about business agility, and discuss on how business models need to adapt over time.
Okay. No.
Yeah, but I think for me this format is also not the perfect format, because we are currently we are actually working agile. We're in the software development, so yeah, for me it's. But thank you for your time and your presentation.
No worries.
I appreciate it.
In what way, Christine, are you like working in the agile format already? I think would be
Scrum
interesting.
Master. I'm the
Oh, yeah.
project lead. Yeah.
And yeah, that's something also that we discussed prior. How can, because last time there were actually 2 Scrum Masters, I think, who joined, and yeah, what could be kind of the benefit for a Scrum Master to explore more the side of an agile coach, since there are 2 different roles, right? Or Andrea, or do you want to say something about it? Sorry.
Oh, I thought that was a question for Christine. For the Scrum Masters, the interesting point would be just the broadening the perspective on how to not only support the individual software developing or product team, but on how to support several teams, and what might be different tools or perspectives that could be used for that. So it would be a at least a sidestep on and a rather different way of coordination and collaboration principles, using the mindset that you might already know from being a Scrum Master. Yeah. Do you already have agile coaches in your company then?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Nice. Cool. Miriam, do you have any questions or comments, remarks?
No questions. And as a remark, so thank you very much for the introduction. It's definitely interesting. And the main point you underlined is that it's not a kind of certified training something, and I was mainly looking to kind of certification and the whole bunch of training towards an agile coach. So It's definitely interesting, but I think I will go look into the possibilities of training to become sometimes certified coach in towards agility.
Mhm.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, this was also something that, for instance, back then I was thinking about for me myself, right? For me, that's, and I'm a manager for technical consultants in a big software company. In that sense, I am a business coach, leadership coach, right? I do not have any knowledge. Well, now I have the knowledge as an agile, what an agile coach does about agility. Of course, I knew about it before. Our project managers that we have actually have to do, they are all Scrum Masters now, and we are changing our business into a more agile. So I think now you have 2 times in here, right? Okay, sorry, I just muted you so there won't be an echo. I'm sorry for that. But we can unmute you anytime, right? If you want to speak, no worries. Yes, but I was thinking, how can I support from a leader perspective? How can I support my team or like individuals in my team or the whole project teams as such when I see there are some challenges? I mean, the biggest challenge we have with the delivery is really communication, either on internal side or also with the customers, for instance. When people don't speak among each other or they don't know what is the overall goal. So before I thought, okay, let me do a certification on this. This came actually at the right time, and yeah, my company they also like that. They are technically, I would say in some areas there is actually an agile coach. It's available in the business area where I am, not yet, but we are maybe getting there. But what I found interesting now with that understanding, also with the different tools and techniques that I can use on my level to influence the projects indirectly, I think this is very valuable also for my own impact, right? And then on the other hand, Geraldine, I actually had to kind of found it funny because I just did a certification to become a change manager, right? But that was also like an offer that from the company that I took. So now that I have the whole theoretical knowledge and like the whole certification kind of in the back of my mind of a change manager, of course this all adds up, right? It's I think the it's not a must to do, and this was kind of just a coincidence that I also did that. Now at the end of the year and last year at the beginning of the year I did this, the Agile Coach, but I would say both is very helpful because it reflects from 2 different perspectives. On the other hand, it's always what is the ultimate goal that you want to achieve with the project and or with the change. And so yeah.
Yeah, and it's a mixture of of the technical and procedural topics, and on the other hand of the coaching and facilitation and mentoring capabilities that you need for that role. And it always depends why are you interested in that topic in the first place, and if it's the agile transformation and getting an idea if that really fits, or if as a manager or as a leader, what part would be interested for you to bring up, move forward your responsibility. This might be just a place to be then, or just a part to participate.
Okay, more questions or thoughts? Are you all happy otherwise with the 43 minutes well spent? That's good. Let me actually
Thank
stop.
you for the presentation. It was really, for me, it was really interesting, and I know exactly, but I think it's not really what I am searching for at the moment. But very interesting.